Right, okay, question 92. Question 92, what we have here, it says that the cost center has an overhead absorption rate of £4.25 per hour. So that means that every time you have production overhead, every time you have an hour of work, of machine hour being used, or something along those lines, production overhead control account, what you have is you're debiting the overhead. You're sort of saying, I'm going to charge, or I'm going to assign £4.25 to every hour that is put in, right? So the question says here that, so you're putting £4.25 for every hour. The question says that actual machine hours were 2% more than the budgeted. So here's the budgeted. So if that's the budgeted at 12,400, well, the actual was 12 times 400 times 1.02, right? Because it says 2% more. The actual hours 2% more than we expected. So what does that look like? That's 12,400 times 1.02 times £4.25. And that's 53,754. So I have 53,754 on both sides. Debit the provision overhead and debit the control account. That's the situation. Right. Now it tells us that actually we observe that in actual sense, what really happened was that the actual overhead was 56,389. So if it's 56,389, what they're telling you is that you haven't put enough. You need to put more in. How much more? The difference, 56,389. Take away the 53,754. 9 take away 4 is 5. 8 take away 5 is 3. I can already see my answer gradually eking out. 13 take away 7 is 6, and that's 2. So you need to put in an additional 2635 to bring that up. So we're currently 2635 under absorbed, right? And that's how you deal with that. That's how you deal with that question. So let's look at this one. It says here that a law firm recovers overheads on chargeable consulting hours, right? So budgeted overheads was 615,000. It's a bit of a play, isn't it? You kind of have to mess around with things a little. Budgeted overheads were 615,000. Actual consulting hours were 32,150. So it says that overheads were under recovered by 35,000. So what that means was that, let's kind of work backwards. What we're sort of saying here was that actual overheads in the end were 694. So overheads were under recovered. So in our accounts before the adjustment, we, based on the number of hours, the point is in terms of amounts before we adjusted it, because it was under recovered, we had 694,075, take away 35,000. That's what they're telling us. So in a way, your figure was 694,075 minus 35,000. Right. So what it means is that somehow I had put some numbers in here, and I had arrived at a total figure 69075. So what happened was I had a budgeted overhead rate. I don't know what that is. That's what I'm looking for, called X. I multiplied that by the actual consulting hours, right? Because that's exactly the number of hours that happened, and I got this figure. So the question here is, that's what if you like, I mean, that's really the picture, really. I have a budgeted rate. I multiplied that by that, then I got here, right? Then I realize I'm under absorbed. So I put in, because I'm comparing this figure to this, I'm comparing this to this, and I say, oh, it's under absorbed, put an extra 35 grand in, right? And that's what they're sort of telling you. So if I now sort of say, well, fair enough, then what is this thing here, which is what they're asking? It must be 659,075 divided by 32,150, right? 6,590 divided by 32,150, and I get £20.50, right? You get £20.50. That's really the case here. The truth is that this was useless to us, this thing here. What was important was that we know, because what would have happened was you had £20.50, you multiplied it by the actual number of hours, you got this, and you now said, oh, that's under absorbed. Let's put in an extra 35,000. So you put in an extra 35,000 an extra 35,000, and you're there. You now arrive at what really happened, right? So the answer there is B. The answer there is B. Right, and let's finish off very quickly with C. Let's finish off very quickly with C. Let's clean this out. Very quickly with C. Oops, sorry. The answer is B there. Well, now, what we now have here is that it says here that a firm absorbs overheads on labor hours. A firm absorbs overheads. Firm absorbs overheads on labor hours. No problem. So in one period, they actually work 11,500 hours. So again, like I said here, what's happening here is I have an overhead absorption rate. Let's call that Y. I multiply that by the actual hours worked, and I get a figure. Now that figure I get, it says here, was 23. Was an actual is here, and this is actual. And I had actually over-absorbed. So what it means is that when I did Y times 11,500, I got 138,000 plus 23,000. That's what I did. Right? And so that's 161,000, right? That's what happened. Okay. So the question here is, what is Y? And so Y is the 161,000 divided by 11,500. So I am working backwards with this system, really. So 161 divided by 11,500, which is 14 pounds, right? So, yeah, I mean, in actual sense, that's it, 14 pounds. There's nothing else to do, really. That's nothing else to do. And that's what happened. I did 14 times this, I got this. And I said, oh, this is too high, bring it down. So I now deducted 23 from here, and I arrived at 138. Cool, great stuff. And that is question 92.